So, good morning. This is day 6 with our new puppies. As you can see, all 4 are hungry this morning. This is the good news, is we have an empty bowl from Mum, who has ate everything I put in front of her this morning. And so I've done her a little extra bowl there of just dry food to keep while I'm not here. And obviously keeping her water topped up. My daughter has been my research assistant, so thank you Google. So we now know that the terrible diarrhoea she was experiencing is normal 3 to 4 days after having puppies. Most mothers get it, and it's because of keeping the puppies clean, and it can last up to 8 weeks. So that came as a bit of a shock, but at least we know now what the reason for that was, so that's good. And we also found out that you have to replace their normal food with puppy food for Mum, because it contains higher proteins and calcium that they need while they're nursing. So that was good. And then yesterday afternoon, the lovely Leanne from the vets phoned to have a chat. They've been snowed under, and being as I hadn't said that it was urgent, I was just looking for general advice. She's got the chance to go through the message book and had picked the message up and was just ringing to see how we were doing. So she explained to me that the diarrhoea thing was just down to Mum keeping the puppies clean, which of course we knew because we Googled it. But it was just great to have somebody who's a professional in the field saying to me that we're doing all the right things, which is great. I mean, you can tell just by looking at the puppies that they're doing the right things. One of the things Leanne told me that I didn't know was that when the puppies are asleep, you count up to 20. And if they do that little twitch thing like we do in our sleep, it's called activated sleep, and that's a really good sign. So we've been watching the puppies since yesterday afternoon whenever we're here, when they're asleep, and they are, all 4 are having activated sleep, so that's good. Still haven't had a chance to weigh them because, like I say, Mum's happy for me to pick them up, stroke them, rearrange them, but taking them out of the nest is an absolute no. The minute they come out of the nest, she panics, which is why we're having to do it in the evening when there's 2 of us here, so that while I take her on a bathroom break, somebody else can rearrange the nest and make sure it's clean and just give the puppies a once over. So that's been good. And the other thing Leanne told me, which I'd been doing once a day anyway, but I have to do it twice a day, is I have to check her teats to make sure that they're not hard, lumpy or hot or purple. And obviously if that's the case, then there's something wrong and I need to speak to the vet urgently. And Leanne was wonderful. I cannot say enough, because although most of the things that she told me I'd managed to find out, to have somebody give you that support and advice and a little bit of empathy was lovely. But she was amazing. She was just so good. She was just so full of information and knowledge. She's hand-reared puppies herself, and she works with rescues. So it was just great to talk to somebody and for them to say, yep, you're doing everything right. So that was really cool. I'm really happy. I've been losing sleep over whether we're doing the right thing. When we're not here, are they okay? Every time I pass the door, because obviously it's been a local businesswoman walking dogs in the local area, it means I pass quite often, so I can nip in on the way to or the way back from dropping dogs off and picking them up. So we're managing some nice little 10-minute welfare visits just to make sure everything's okay. As you can see, now Mum's had her bathroom break and she's eaten all her breakfast, so she's ready for a nap like she is most mornings. The other thing Leanne told me was that her drinking is really important. She needs to be drinking lots of water, because that helps her produce her milk. And if she wasn't drinking water, we could try her with goat's milk. But I know that she's drinking a huge amount of water, because obviously I'm leaving her a bowl clean right by the nest. But there are several water butts around that I've set up There's one that's always here anyway, but I've set up a couple of additional ones as well. And she's drinking from all of those, and the levels are dropping so dramatically that I know, even with the rain that we had. Oh, sweetie, is my talking keeping you awake? Was that a bit of a sigh to say stop it, Deb? So for anybody that's just interested in, watching the puppies and not listening to me get on my soapbox about something, you might want to turn the sound off now. But the thing that I'm on the case about today is the fact that I referred to people with dogs, so I refer to myself as a pawrent rather than a parent, a pawrent. Evidently that is humanising an animal, and that is totally not it. I understand that, people in the dog world, particularly the professional dog world, look at the way that some people treat their dogs, particularly the smaller breeds, very much like children, and they're kind of taking away that dog side of them, if you like. The reference as pawrent isn't to humanise the dogs. It's actually to refer back to the responsibility that you take on when you take on a dog. Because with children, they leave, they go to school, they grow up, they have families of their own. Now, dogs have families of their own, but from the moment you take a dog into your home, it is your responsibility. Everything. You provide everything the dog needs. You become that dog's world. And that level of responsibility is awesome. How your dog is out in the community is your responsibility. So if you take on a puppy, all the work you put in the first year of its life is what you will have as an adult dog for the rest of their natural life. So if you invest everything you have in that first year to making sure they're properly socialised and trained, as they become adults, you have a wonderful family member who you can go anywhere with no worries. And that's so important. That is so important. You just have to see Lily's having a little bit of a growl. This is because Dad is just behind me with his ball and he's getting a little bit impatient. So I will stop being patronising nutter on her soapbox. But it's just so important. It's not humanising. They are animals, and you do have to appreciate that. As part of the Animal Welfare Act, you have 5 responsibilities to any pet. So it's behaviour, so they get to act as they should for whatever type of animal they are. So their normal behaviour. And it's their health, it's their diet, it's their environment and companionship. These are all really, really important things. Behaviour, companionship, diet, environment, health. So, those are the responsibilities of a parent. Therefore, those are the responsibilities of a pawrent. So it isn't humanising an animal. It is just making people aware of how much of a responsibility a dog is. And I don't think we would have so many animals abandoned, particularly dogs, particularly staffies, if people understood that. The first year is the contributing factor to how your dog turns out. And puppies are hard work. Puppies are hard work. All dogs are individuals, so you have to learn about the breed, what the breed needs to function. But then your dog's an individual. They like certain things. They have they're just like people in that way, in that they have unique personalities. And what one German Shepherd might like, another one might not. So for us, for Mama, she's just not really a ball person, or a bulldog, I should say. Or not a bulldog, a tennis ball or football dog. She's not toy motivated. She's very much food motivated. She only takes toys to tease Dad and play with Dad. She knows that if she takes his ball and she runs off with it, he's going to chase her. But she's not particularly a fan of playing with a ball. Whereas Dad, as we know, is ball mad. He loves them. He would play all day and all night. Oh, look, we've got a little face. It's all right, sweetie. He's not coming any closer. Stay, good boy. So, yeah, I think now the old soapbox has got to go away for today. So we'll just have one last look at these babies. Having a little bit of a clean up, and a little bit of a nuzzle, and a little bit of a feed. And we'll leave Mum to go off for a morning nap. And take, good girl, good girl. Away, 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 good boy. So you saw that, he's just edged a tiny bit closer because he's getting impatient, and it's not his fault. So I am going to go